the shadow of the noose. Even now, whenever I think of that day, a cold ache rises in my chest. It was winter. The morning mist had not yet fully lifted. I was walking along the narrow village path, a bag of groceries in my hand, my mind wandering aimlessly like it would on any other ordinary day. Then I saw it. Far ahead, a cluster of people standing together in complete silence. No chatter, no laughter, just a low hum of whispers and wide, fearful eyes. Curiosity pulled me closer. At first, I couldn't understand what they were looking at. But a few steps forward, I noticed something hanging from the thick branch of the old mango tree. My legs froze where I stood. It wasn't a sack, nor a bundle of clothes. It was a person. I squinted, trying to make sense of the shape, and then I saw it clearly. The familiar shirt, the face. My heart clenched so hard it felt like someone had driven an icy blade into it. It was my cousin, lifeless, cold, dangling from a noose. The winter wind made his body sway gently, almost mockingly. His half-open eyes stared into the void, his lips devoid of any expression. His toes hung just above the ground, barely brushing it. Around his neck, the thick rope was wound so tightly that the skin had turned red and raw from the friction. In the crowd, some were quietly sobbing, while others turned their faces away. I wanted to say something, anything, but my throat felt locked, as if words could never find their way out. My hands trembled, my breathing grew shallow. Time felt frozen. Only the cold wind moved, and on that branch, my beloved cousin's body swayed like a grim pendulum. In that moment, I could do nothing but stand there, helpless, terrified, and hollow. That old mango tree had just shown me the most horrific, soul-crushing sight of my life. And that swaying body burned itself into my eyes forever. The nights after my cousin's death were long and heavy, like time itself was moving slower. The house felt different, quieter, colder. Even the ticking of the clock in the hallway seemed louder, almost intrusive. On the third night, it happened. I had fallen asleep late, tossing and turning, my mind still replaying the image of him swaying from that tree. Somewhere in the dark, I slipped into a dream. At first, it was silent, an empty, endless space. I couldn't see anything, but I could feel that I wasn't alone. Then I heard it. A voice, soft at first, almost a whisper carried by the wind. "Come with me." My heart pounded. It was his voice, my cousin's voice. The darkness shifted, and he stepped forward into a dim, gray light. He looked exactly as I had last seen him, rope still wound around his neck, head tilted slightly to one side, half-open eyes staring at me. Only now, there was something else, a faint smile on his lips, wrong and unsettling. "Do it," he whispered again, his voice dripping like cold water into my ears. "Do what I did. End it, and you'll understand." I tried to move, tried to speak, but my body wouldn't listen. It felt as if invisible hands were gripping my arms and legs, holding me in place. His pale feet made no sound as he stepped closer. The smell of damp earth and something foul, like old rope left in the rain, filled my nose. "Just once," he murmured, "it won't hurt." My breath caught in my throat. My chest tightened. I wanted to scream, but not a single sound came out. And then, his cold, lifeless hand reached for mine. The moment his skin touched me, a jolt of ice shot up my arm. That's when I woke up, gasping, drenched in sweat, my heart slamming against my ribs. The room was dark, silent, but I could still hear it, faintly, as if the whisper hadn't gone away. "Come with me." The line between dreams and reality was slowly beginning to blur. Nights no longer passed peacefully. Every time I closed my eyes, the rope, the dusty tree, and my cousin's lifeless face appeared, as vivid as before. One night, I tried to sleep. I lay in bed, eyes shut, trying to convince myself it was all in my head. But then, I heard it. A whisper, close, almost right next to me. I opened my eyes, and there he was, in my very room. My cousin, the rope still in his hands, his half-open eyes staring, that twisted smile on his lips. The light in the room illuminated him, yet his shadow seemed darker than the night itself, stretching and swallowing the corners of the room. "Now it's your turn," he whispered. "Do it like I did, and it will all make sense." I tried to move, to speak, but my body refused to obey. The doors and windows seemed impossibly far away, as if some unseen force had sealed me in. The scattered books, the sheets, even the flickering lamp, they all moved subtly with him, responding to his presence. The rope slowly moved closer to me. I trembled uncontrollably, my eyes filling with tears, somehow sensing more ropes forming from the darkness, reaching for me. My breaths came in ragged gasps, my heart racing so fast it felt like it would explode. Suddenly, it felt like his cold, lifeless hand rested on my shoulder. My body went numb, my mind screamed, there is no escape. And then, just as suddenly, the room was empty. He was gone. I sank to the floor, shaking, unsure if it had been a dream or reality. I stayed awake the rest of the night, haunted by a single terrifying thought. Even if I couldn't see him now, I knew his presence was still in the room, waiting, blending with my fear, ready to return. Even in daylight, the terror followed me. Every tree I passed seemed alive. Every shadow felt like eyes, staring, waiting. But the old mango tree, that tree haunted me the most. One afternoon, I stood by the window, trying to distract myself with the sunlight and the quiet of the village. My gaze drifted toward the mango tree in the yard. My stomach turned cold. There he was, my cousin, hanging from the noose, just as he had been before. My eyes darted around. No one else was there. The air was still, yet the vision didn't vanish. I blinked. The tree was empty, but my mind refused to let go. Every branch, every leaf, seemed to echo the sway of that rope. I could feel him watching me, feeling my fear. Days passed, but the vision persisted. Sometimes, even in my room, I would catch glimpses of his shadow in the corner of my eye. Every tree became a reminder, every wind a whisper of the noose swinging. The line between reality and nightmare blurred completely. I began avoiding the yard, avoiding trees, avoiding windows. I felt trapped, as though the world itself was conspiring to keep me within his reach. And yet, deep down, I knew the fear was no longer just a memory. It was alive, watching, waiting. The mango tree wasn't just a tree anymore. It had become a sentinel, a silent witness to his death and now to my torment. After all the fear, all the sleepless nights, my family finally called a spiritual healer, a huger. He entered the room slowly, his eyes deep and penetrating. He looked at me and said, "The day you saw your cousin's body, the fear inside you was so deep that it attracted the attention of a jinn. This jinn was connected to your cousin, and since then, it has been haunting you, appearing in your dreams to torment your mind." I shivered, my eyes filling with tears. The huger recited verses from the Quran, blew over some water, and gave me a talisman. In the first few nights, the dreams stopped. Sleep returned, and the rope, the shadows, the ghostly presence, none of it appeared in my room. He said, "Cast out the fear from your heart, and with Allah's help, move forward." Although the dreams were gone, sometimes, when the wind shook the leaves outside, I felt the rope sway gently in the shadows. I knew then that he was no longer just a memory. He lingered within my fear, quietly waiting, as long as I remained terrified. Still, the huger's recitation and the talisman gave me strength. Gradually, I began to feel normal again. The fear had not vanished completely, but now I understood I was not alone. Allah was with me, giving me courage against the lingering shadows. The rituals, the talisman, and the huger's recitation had worked. The dream stopped. The rope no longer appeared in my room. I could sleep through the night without gasping, and I could look out at the trees without seeing him dangling there. For a while, it seemed as if the nightmare was over. I began to feel safe again. Life slowly returned to normal, and the shadows that once haunted every corner of my home faded. But sometimes, just sometimes, when the wind blows and the leaves shake in the old mango tree, I catch a glimpse of a rope swaying gently, a shadow in the corner of my eye, and I feel it, the same cold, lifeless presence. A whisper, soft and faint, brushing against the edge of my mind. I'm still here. Even now, I cannot be certain if he has truly gone. The terror has faded, yes, but it never fully disappears. It waits, patient and silent, in the shadows, ready to return the moment fear creeps back into my heart. Some nightmares end. Some remain forever. Did you enjoy the story? Let us know in the comments. And if you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to The Horror Dream. Want more stories like this? Subscribe to The Horror Dream and we'll bring you more darkness just for you. If you enjoy a little chill down your spine, stick around. Like, share, and hit that subscribe button right here on The Horror Dream. Your support keeps us going, so stay with us. Subscribe to The Horror Dream for more spine-tingling tales.